Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sam McEwen here, coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. Today is Thursday. I want to talk about something lunacy, some stupid things in ripping this stuff right from the headlines on the very liberal MSN, whatever that browser is. Okay, I'm not going to promote them. So here's one for you. Lester Holt, the most what do you want to say? Unbiased, comprehensive news anchor ever. Yeah, right. NBC anchor says fairness is overrated. Fairness is overrated. Media should not provide an open platform for misinformation. This coming from NBC. NBC hasn't been right since Moses was a baby. And they probably reported that wrong too. So, Lester Holt, what an idiot. Okay, I'm sorry. I just need one more lunatic for you today. Amy Schumer. And yes, you recognize that name. She is related to Senator Chuck Schumer. Mr. I've never read a liberal bill that I don't like that spends tons and tons and tons of money. She believes that the For the People Act is right on, and we should get behind our legislatures and approve. You know what? I'll bet she hasn't read anything more than the title. For the People Act, my behind. It will take away a ton of your rights. Do not allow this to go through. I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent. I don't care what you are. You could still belong to the Whig Party for all I care. Do not let your elected representatives pass this horrible bill. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. And hold them accountable in the midterms. Come on now. This bill will gut a ton of things. Okay? Read it. Read the highlights. Think about it with an open mind. Is going on this. And anytime a relative of Chuck Schumer says something's good, it probably ain't. Probably good for her and for her relative. And you unfortunately can't pick your relatives. And I know I have a whole lot of relatives who are saying, damn, I'm glad that I don't live close to him. Oh my goodness. There's a couple other things. I'm taking this stuff right from the headlines, folks. I'm not making up the headlines. I just get a kick out of Lester Holt. What a moron. I don't know if you heard the debate yesterday. If you listen to Dan Bongino at all, and I usually do. The problem, Dan's kind of like me. We kind of get off on the wrong track, and I say he's like me because I'm older than him. Okay, so he's got to be copying somebody. Anyway. He'll never hear this anyway. So here's the thing. I forget where I was going with that. Voting. The voting act that was passed in Georgia, which, according to President Biden, makes Jim Crow look like Jim Eagle. That's a quote. That's what the man said. Read the bill. Okay. You can get a copy of it. It's public information. The big deal was, this was what they were talking about, that you couldn't even give somebody standing in line a glass of water. Water. Read the bill. That's not what it says. It's basically in line with almost every other voting law, with the exception that it limits some of the garbage that went on this last election cycle. The biggest thing is you can't change rules at the last minute, pandemic or not. Okay? It's not limiting anybody's right to vote or limit anybody's ability to vote. You just have to abide by the law. But people like AOC and Chuck Schumer, the only people who can get away with. And no, don't want to go there. I don't want to make that accusation. I have to give a shout out to Governor Ron DeSantis. He was at Palm Harbor University in Palm Harbor yesterday and announced that he wants to give bonuses to teachers and to legislators with some of the pandemic money. And I think that's a very wise idea. However, your educators, be educated, not indoctrinated when it comes to COVID-19. Research it and understand you are an educator. You chose that profession. Go back to school. If you're afraid to go into the school because of COVID-19, short of the fact that you're borderline lunatic, I don't know what to say to you. You're not following the science. Now, follow the real science, not the political science. Okay? Not the political science. But shout out to Governor DeSantis. I believe he wants to keep this state going. I believe he wants to keep this state up and running, and he wants us all to be successful. Hey, Jason, how you doing? I had Jason on the line here from Express Oil and Tire Engineers. They have two locations, one over the Jason sent me, and he said you would do this. Just don't. Yeah, don't. And then Waters and Dale Mabry. He is very friendly. He's very, I love him. He's a great guy. Those two locations, and you will. So if you are even pre-COVID, you didn't have to get out of your car. That's the way it's designed. You need an oil change. You're in, you're out, boom, away you go. No hard sell. The only pressure you're going to get there is the pressure in your tires. And I'm telling you, they will take care of you. Okay. Jason says you bring your tire quote and he will make every effort to match or beat it. Here's the thing that you get with Jason and his guys. You get outstanding service, you get honesty, and you get integrity. I didn't mean for this to be a commercial for you, Jason. I had to send you a bill for that. Anyway, that's Express Oil and Tire Changers, Tire Engineers. I don't know why I say Tire Changers all the time. I just do it. Sounds better to me. Anyway, Express Oil and Tire Engineers on Tampa Road in Oldsmar and at the corner of Dale May. Tell them Jason sent you. I know he just loves it when people do that. So, I can't get past this Lester Holt saying that fairness is overrated. What, you know, and they still let this idiot speak. Okay. Folks, that you really need to pay attention to. Okay. This tax hike, obviously, it will only hurt the rich. If you think Bill is good, well, you are living under a rock, friend. Ain't going to happen. Okay. Mr. Gates has people that are on the payroll just to keep him from paying taxes any more than he has to. Okay. The rest of them, if you think, you know, they already have people looking at that to see, okay, where are the loopholes? What can we do? How can we avoid paying these idiotic taxes that President Biden is trying to pass through? And for those of you out there, it is the Biden. So don't be confusing the world and confusing the issue. Call it the Biden-Harris administration. It is not. Never before in the history of this country have we referred to the president, the current administration, as the president and the vice president. It's always been the president. He is the commander in chief, which is extremely unfortunate because I honestly, I'm not sure I want his hand on the button. Okay. I'm really not. Okay. My opinion, but he is our president. Okay. contrary to some of my very dear Democratic friends who always said that President Trump was not their president. You don't hear that coming from most of the right anymore, from Republicans. We may have thought there was some funny things going on, but the votes are in. It may be, but the fact of the matter is he's our president. So get up and rough. Okay. Every congressperson is up for re-election in 2022. And if your idiot congressperson, they're not doing it. I am so disappointed with the Hillsborough County Republican Party. They are incompetent. I was trying to find a nice word, and that's about the best thing. They still have President Trump and Vice President Pence, former Vice President Trump, former Vice President Pence, listed on the website as President and Vice President. Get a life, folks. You need to make the changes. You need to decide who we're going after, who we're going to run against, who we're putting up against them. It's a year and a half away. It's not even that when you start figuring when people need to be getting out there and creating a contrast between who's in office and who wants to have the office. You know, I look at the headline. I really, truly don't read a whole lot of it because the headlines are, I mean, well, you have people like Lester Holt making the headlines, right? This new plan that President Biden is trying to put forth is it's almost $3 trillion. So stop and think about it. So I wasn't all real keen on President Trump's whatever that was, 1.9 trillion or just shy of 2 trillion. And then we came with another couple trillion, and then another couple trillion. Who's going to pay for that? Come on, who's paying for that? You and I are paying for that by higher taxes here. So I'm just checking to see if there's any like updated news that I can laugh about. But so far not. So anyway, yeah, because I like looking at the headlines. Governor Cuomo in New York has decided that his state needs a travel passport, a COVID-19 travel passport. Where's your papers? Give me your papers. You can't cross the border. Now, some of you up during World War, no idea what went on there about travel and restrictions and stuff like that. Talk to my wife. She grew up under the Soviet Union. Okay. And that ain't happening. That has got to be stopped. And if you live in New York, you should be totally outraged. Totally. And you should be doing whatever you can to stop it. It's just the beginning, people, if we allow that to happen. Now, I know I have some really good friends out there that are on the other side of the aisle on this kind of things. And, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. Okay. And I understand it. This is my opinion. And I'm just putting some stuff out there. I want you to go read this. You know, here's the latest crazy goofy thing from AOC, by the way, who says the conditions at the border are, quote, barbaric, unquote. Okay, lady, do something about it. Get with Ted Cruz, who believes they're barbaric and it needs to be changed. Work with the people on the other side of the aisle to force your party to do what needs to be done, because guess who has the controlling votes in Congress? Dummy. AOC says Biden's infrastructure plan is way small. $10 trillion. He has never on a budget. There is no way. I don't know that she even truly knows how to spell the word. Just, man, there just had to be some money behind her there just has to, I mean, how, I have some really dear friends from New York, and did only the smart ones move to Florida? I don't know, but I don't understand how this woman just keeps getting reelected. Delta Airlines, by the way, is all pissed off about the. Okay, so now I'm in big trouble because that was my wife and I just hung up on her. So, but she'll understand once I explain it to her. It might take some big explaining. But Delta Airlines thinks that the voting law is unfair, and Biden is to pull the games over the Georgia voting law. Lunacy reigns supreme, my friends. Lunacy reigns supreme. Many of you know that I am a business coach and a finance coach. I am not a financial planner. I don't do that kind of stuff. I have really dear friends and really dear acquaintances who do that, and I can refer you to them. But if you are in need of some business coaching or some financial coaching for your business or your personal, there's a link in the comments. Click on that, schedule 30 minutes with me. We'll get started for you, get you going, and get you on the right path to financial peace and financial freedom. This has been Sam McEwen. Y'all live intentionally and be very, very blessed today, my friends.